All right, all right, all right. It's something on my mind, something on the brother's mind, guys. I want to get off my chest, and pretty much it's being a Babylonian, double-minded Negro slave fool, and you have a lot of that going on. And guess what? You got a lot of Edomites, Edomites meaning so-called Europeans, who fit in that same category. They fit in the same category. They actually believe in the system to the point where they are stupid or just walking around confused, very confused. But anyway, check this out. I was reading this article. Let me see if I can find it. And apparently, Black Americans and Americans, period, are suffering from anxiety because they don't know how they're going to keep food on the table, or will they be able to keep food on the table going into the latter part of 2026. And that's something to consider, because right now people are all right. People are comfortable. People are getting by. I don't care what people say, how they talk about how difficult it is in the country. I don't think it's to the point where people are on bread lines. In other words, I'll use myself for an example. I'm not doing well, but I'm doing okay that I can comfortably pay off my bills and put a little bit of money aside at the same time. But some weeks are tough. Some weeks are really tough. But I make it happen by being smart in the Most High. Here's an article. I found this kind of interesting. It says, as Americans brace for economic decline, financial anxiety may surge. Financial anxiety, meaning fears and ups and downs and black and white, meaning you don't know where things are going. So financial anxiety may surge in 2026. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be pretty interesting. But let's check it out. Let's check it out real quick. Let's give it a chance. Let's see how this fits into your life or mine or people in general. How does this work in terms of getting understanding on where we are going in 2026? Check it out.
An expert says the forecast shows people who are doing very well still keep spending while others are struggling. I met a mom today who is worried about the cost of living.
My biggest concern is to see just how much food is going to cost again.
We met Chantel Aquila as she was enjoying her last bit of maternity
Tell Aquila. Okay. Tell Aquila.
leave. She goes back to work Monday after having her third child. Aquila shared this picture of baby Catalina. While Aquila is...
What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Listen, man, just listen. I don't know, man. Yo, just when you think things can't get much weirder, you just can't make this up among black people, man. I had the most interesting discussion. You'll see it on my page if you go to my last video, man. I've learned, and put myself up larger for this. I've learned that just because someone is book smart, they may be into philosophy, they may be into history, they may be into finances. Without the Holy Spirit, without spirituality, these are dumbass people, man. I'm talking about black people now. I'm talking about my people. They are dumbass people. I understand the parable or the statement or the saying in the Bible. They swallow a camel, but they strain at the net. A little insect to swallow that spiritually. Men and women, black men and women, they will strain to get that down, but they will swallow a bigger situation such as a camel with ease. But the small things that are spiritual, that are weightier and connecting to the Most High, that make sense, that open the doors for you to have a better life, we just don't do well there, man. And not just us, people in general, we just don't do well. But, maybe an ass kicking from the Most High is needed. maybe a serious good ass kicking from the Most High is needed, because the Most High says, what? In their afflictions, they will seek him early. Maybe that's what's needed. Maybe that's what's needed. But, I think you know what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking, though. I'm not going to touch on it because it's been a hell of a weekend, man. I spent the whole weekend arguing with Negroes, man. Pretty much the whole weekend arguing with dumb, stupid Negroes the whole weekend. But check it out.
Thrilled to have a new addition to the family, she also has some anxiety about inflation.
Now gas prices are going down, so that's pretty good, but it's still kind of scary to see where food might go.
According to a recent Bankrate survey, 78% of people who expect their personal finances to get worse next year frequently
78%. 78% expect finances to get worse. I wonder why. Or how did that even come on the table? How did they get to that conclusion? Is it because of what they're spending now or making ends meet now? 70%, 78%, that's pretty big. But you would think with this new president, everything is going to be all right, and Trump is going to make everything better again, But 78%, that's something, man, because it's hard to believe. And she said gas prices has went down. Gas prices have gone back up. It went down for a while, really to a good position financially. It went down pretty much, and then it shot back up. It's almost $3 a gallon again. So I don't know where she lives at or where she gets her gas at, but it's not a cakewalk, put it that way. But I was listening to this economist, and he was saying that if you get your head together and you budget properly, you'll be all right. And he made some pretty good comments and statements. He was saying that a lot of the reasons why people go bankrupt, a lot of reasons why people can't be in a position of well off is because we do stupid things. We always try to keep up with the Joneses. Or if we feel bad, we spend money. It's called emotional spending. We tend to emotionally spend money that we don't have, to make ourselves feel better. The same way people get high. People get high to escape reality. And that's not good. The same thing with spending, It's a very bad habit, and it could put you in the poorhouse very easily. Very easily. Check this out. It says emotional spending is the act of purchasing items based on temporary intense feelings. Feelings. When your feelings kick in, you do stupid things. And black people are overly emotional. You know that, right? You know that black folks as well as Hispanic folks are overly or in certain cases, emotionally immature. So this is something to take note of within your personal travels. Do you spend money to feel good? If you are going through a rough patch, excuse me, at the moment, do you spend money just to make yourself feel better or to get out of that rut? The little bit you waste, it compounds and it adds up. I know that we need to do some nice things for ourselves here and there, but when it becomes based on emotion, you have nobody to blame but yourselves. The scripture says that we are pilgrims on this earth. A pilgrim goes from place to place and survives. A pilgrim, he has direction, he has motives, he has an end goal. But he knows that his stays are only temporary. In America, our stay will be temporary. and they will be ups and downs. So how you manage $1,000 show just how well you will manage $10,000. And how you manage $10,000 will show just how well you will manage $100,000 if you can make it to that point. I'm just making an example or showing you an example of how you think is how you are. And we live in a world where you have things that beat up on your emotions constantly. And if you're not mature in the spirit, you will have problems. So avoid and recognize emotional spending. Again, it says emotional spending is the act of purchasing items based on temporary intense feelings such as stress, boredom. This is one of the key spirits or feelings or emotions that this billionaire had mentioned. This billionaire he had mentioned, this was Charles Munger. You got a lot of videos. I listened to a lot of his videos in the morning. But one thing he mentioned was that people spend out of boredom. This is why you can go in the hood, you'll see a stupid Negro, a stupid, ignorant Negro driving the latest Mercedes-Benz, driving the latest Range Rover, driving the latest BMW, but living in the projects. He'll go around and around just so he can feel important to the have-nots. He'll go around and around. He will wash his car. He will get a rag and shine the chrome rims till he can see his face in the rims. He will blast his music because he wants the feeling of being important. Some people shop because they're bored, or they go out to dinner 4 times a week rather than cook because they feel bored. They want to change. They want to change or break from the day after day routine. And this can hurt you financially. This can hurt you financially to the point you're blaming the white man for everything. We know that the Most High, he put Esau, the white man, over us. We know this. But if you don't get a grip, and if you keep blaming everybody but yourself on your actions, you have nobody to blame but yourselves. Then when you read on it, it says loneliness or excitement rather than the need. See if I get that. Or budget, rather than need or budget. Often referred to as retail therapy, it acts as a short-term coping mechanism. Check this out. A short-term coping mechanism that releases dopamine, the feeling of feeling good. You understand? That chemical, that dopamine feeling that makes you feel so good. It's like a shot of Hennessy or a tote from a spliff or a blunt that triggers dopamine to make you feel good. So spending when you're bored, spending for excitement, spending for intense feeling, spending for stress, release a coping mechanism that releases dopamine in your brain, but can lead to buyer's remorse. You're going to be sad and upset when the credit card bill comes. You're going to be sad and upset when you can't pay the rent. You're going to be sad and upset when the repo man takes that brand new shiny Range Rover, BMW, Aquila Legend. You're going to have buyer's remorse. When you're sitting on shiny items that once had you excited, but now you're not excited after a month's time of having those items. It's called buyer's remorse or regret. Financial debt, when you can't pay back the credit card, and they keep attaching late fees on the credit cards, even though it's maxed out and you're not using it. Next month, more charges on the credit cards through late fees. So now your credit is wrecked. Now you can't even use the credit card, but you're stuck with shiny objects that you can't even pay for, or it has you in a financial hole. Then it says in long-term financial distress. And that's exactly what happens to black folks. They put themselves in these positions and they can't get out. They can't get out. You know it's true. Some of you are going through this right now and you don't know how you got here. You have no idea how you got here, but some of you are going through it right now as we speak. So people that see a bleak future, in this case, 78% of people expect finances to get worse in 2026. Maybe this can be connected to that. Maybe they're spending and they can't make ends meet. Maybe they're paying off bills and they can't make ends meet. Maybe they're in really financial dire straits that they can't get out of. Maybe they are single mothers who were once comfortable, now they're financially uncomfortable. Something to think about. Are you in a situation like that? Are you an emotional spender who spends just to feel good, just to get that dopamine flowing and feeling good about yourselves? You have to start considering these things. I know that you're not a penny pincher. I know that you're not cheap, but like I always say, there's a difference between being cheap and being frugal. There are two different definitions. Look that up one day. There's a difference. Cheap is a whole difference from being frugal. You understand what I'm saying? Frugal, you watch your spending. You watch it. Frugal, you think before you give over your money.
Frugal, frugal, frugal.
Frugal, sparing, or economical with regard of money or food, meaning you check out where your money goes. You're careful with your money. See what this one's, what it opens up. It says a frugal person is someone who is careful and resourceful with their money. Is that cheap? Or is that wise? Is that being cheap or is that wise? There's nothing wrong with being frugal, especially if you don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. There's nothing wrong with being frugal. What does Jacob mean? Jacob was a supplanter. He was a smart man. He was one of your forefathers. King David, he was a smart man. He was calculating. He was a warrior, but he was not a foolish man. We come from a stock of people such as Solomon and Abraham and Moses. We can't forget Moses. Got to throw him in there. These were wise men. They were wise in how they utilized the Spirit to motivate them and to carry them forward and to make good, rational decisions on all aspects of life and survival. On all aspects of life and survival. And guess what? You are of the stock of those people. You just have to open the doors to the wisdom, to the understanding and the knowledge that the Most High blessed your forefathers with. You just have to open your minds to obtain and get those same attributes. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're trying to survive today. You're warriors today. But look at your brothers and sisters who are outside of the fold, who are outside of the Holy Spirit. They don't have what you have. A frugal person is someone who is careful and resourceful with their money and resources. Not hard to figure out. Prioritizing values and avoiding waste. And avoiding waste is the opposite of what we read as far as emotional spending. To archive financial goals rather than being cheap by focusing only on the lowest price. They make intentional spending choices. You check this out? They control their choices. Their choices are intentional. They make intentional choices distinguishing between needs and wants. You can need a BMW or you can want a BMW. You can need a new chain or you can want a new chain. You can need a big house and you could want a big house or bigger house. And are willing to forego non-essential purchases and are willing to say no to non-essential, meaning important purchases to save or invest in things they value more, like experiences or long-term security. You see that? There's a big difference between emotional shopping and someone who is frugal, between emotional purchases and someone who purchases with a frugal intent. There's a difference between being frugal and being cheap. Two different things. Two entirely different things. So I'm not surprised when people say they expect 2026 to be worse because they're watching the news and they're checking out things that are going down. Bottom line. Check it out.
Cited high inflation. David Weiss is a financial advisor at Weston Banks. He says tariffs could affect consumers more in the new year.
A lot of companies have absorbed tariffs so far because they don't want to choke off, their demand.
Weiss recommends staying the course with long-term investments, and if you can't afford a financial advisor, he says there are apps that don't charge a fee that can help you plan for the future.
If you let fear kind of gauge what you're trying to do, then you'll try to sell things, then you don't know when to get back. It's kind of staying the course, and whether you do it on your own or if you're working with a financial professional, just having a process.
Aquila tells me she spent most of 2025 on a tight budget. Her partner is trying to bring in more money as we head into the new year.
He's currently looking for another job.
She's hoping 2026 will offer opportunity for her family to make.
He's currently looking for another job. Some people got to work jobs. I know people who have retired and they had to come back to work, man. They had to come back to work because they just couldn't cut it. Even when you retire, you're not guaranteed to make it. A lot of people are ready to retire for 2026. Can they make it on $3,000 a month? $4,000 a month? Divide that into four. That's $500 before taxes for the month. If you divide that weekly, that's less than $500. You can't make it on that. $4,000 if you get you cash out on the job and you retire. Let's say $4,000 a month. That's $1,000 you have to survive off of weekly before taxes, and they shave off a third in taxes. So these things have Americans in fear, and Donald Trump is not going to come to the rescue. Donald Trump is saying that to expect a big paycheck on your tax return. He says to the BBB, the big beautiful bill, you ought to expect good money this year. Says Trump sends tax refund updates to Americans. 2026 checks will be substantially bigger than before. How to use it wisely. This is Trump. This is Trump. With tax season now on the way, working Americans may soon see a financial windfall, according to President Donald Trump. And he says it's all due to one piece of legislation, the big, beautiful bill. Tax refunds this year tax refunds this year because of the great, big, beautiful bill of substantially greater than ever before, Trump wrote in a recent post on Truth Social. In some cases, estimates are that over 20% will be returned to taxpayers. You're going to get big money, he's saying. But can you trust him, man? Should you trust in man? Can you really trust in man? Can you really trust in politicians? You're a fool today if you trust in politicians. You're a fool today if you actually believe in politicians, man, because they lie, they cheat, they steal. We're seeing all the corruption coming out in the last 2 years, and it's growing. There's so much stealing going on. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Since people vote and believe political lies primarily due to intense tribal identity, you want to be a part of a group. So you believe that we have to vote Democrat, black people. You believe we need a Hillary Clinton in office, black people. You believe we need a black woman like Kamala in office, black people. Then on the other side, you believe Donald Trump, which is a part of the beast system, which is a part of Satan's rulership. Meanwhile, people are going broke. Look what's happening in New York. Mandani lied to New Yorkers. Now he's going back on free buses. He's going back on free rent. He's going back on all the lies he used to get in office, like a typical politician. And you idiots, you dumb, stupid idiots, you keep voting. You vote year after year and nothing good comes out of it. You vote year after year and you don't grow, nothing happens for you. You're stupid, 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 stupid. You're some dumb people. You believe in politics, but yet you clown us for believing in the Bible when the Bible says, trust ye not in any man. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Wild West yesterday, man. Wild West. You believe in the garbage, man. You believe in the garbage because you are tribal. You are politically tribal. You want to be a part of a group. Motivated reasoning, prioritizing feelings over facts. Prioritizing feelings over facts. The same way people are emotional shoppers, the same way people choose to buy to feel good, to look good, and in the end, you're not good. It's the same thing with putting feelings over facts and you vote. You prioritize feelings over facts. That it's just a man. They lie to you. They lie year after year after year. And the illusory truth affects believing repetition over reality. Lies often act as weapons. Lies often act as weapons. Petition conflict, allowing voters to support their side, justify political loyalty. See that? Political loyalty, and feel a sense of shared identity against opposing groups. It's like a damn war of stupidity. One stupid group against another stupid group. One stupid group opposing the other stupid group, just to have a sense of shared identity. And the rich banking families and the super elite, they laugh all the way to the bank because you're just that damn stupid. It's all a lie. People will continue to vote and be stupid and lose money and cry when nothing works out for them. Because you're sheeple. You're political, stupid sheeple. That's what you are. You're sheeple. Look.
Sheeple.
People compare to sheep in being docile, foolish, and easily led. You're sheeple. Nobody should be this damn stupid, but you got stupid people who continue to vote and continue to be dumb in the system. And this is what leads me to what I'm about to share now. This is the whole thing, because I've been following this for the last few days, and people are absolutely dumb, man. Nobody should be this stupid. You put this man in office, and look at you now. You're dumb, stupid idiots. You're so stupid. You're just so damn stupid. Check it out.
Is getting a rude awakening, a big dose of reality. He's finding out that all of his democratic socialistic plans are not going to go down as he had thought. He promised New Yorkers this, he promised New Yorkers that, y'all. He promised them everything to get elected. And now New Yorkers are in all-out revolt against him. In this video, we're going to see how black residents have taken to the streets to say, Mom Donnie, we are not going along with your plan. But it's not just them, y'all. The politicians are coming out against him. He's even having to walk back on his plainly stupid idea to end homeless encampment sweeps, y'all. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it.
This guy makes good videos. It's called Paralegal Institute of Washington, D.C. Check this guy out, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty detailed, and I appreciate his hard work in this video, man. I appreciate his hard work in this video, and he's pretty good. Check him out, though.
Decades of work is on the line right now. Homeowners in Queens are concerned about being forced out of their homes. The group says if Mayor Mamdani's 9.5% property tax proposal actually happens, they may be forced to sell. Fox 5's Kendall Green has this story.
We are not having it.
Homeowners in Mayor Zohran Mamdani's own back.
10% increases on property tax. 10%. If they can't get the 2% from the super rich, or those I believe is making over $200,000 per year, they want to hit the homeowners for a 10% increase on property tax. And they're struggling as it is. You saw what we read earlier. 78% of Americans fear that they will not be able to keep food on the table for 2026. New York City is one of the most expensive cities to live in. New Jersey is one of the most expensive states to live in. I believe New Jersey pays the highest in taxes, property tax. The highest, I believe. So I'm telling you, when I'm walking in New York and when I'm just minding my business, man, you can see how everything is a money hustle. If you drive your car too fast, the cameras catch you, a money hustle. A money hustle. If you go to the grocery store, the prices are higher, a money hustle. A money hustle. If you rent an apartment, that's the size of the back seat of your car, the rent is outrageous. It's just money hustles. But not just money hustles. People are struggling to survive, man. And not just in New York City, all over the country, man. All over the country. And at some point, the people can't take it. So when Mamdani came on the scene, he was like the savior. He was talking about free bus rides. He was talking about no rent. He was talking about things that it was nearly it's impossible for him to do because the state of New York is already financially in a big hole. He's already tapping into the slush fund, meaning money that was supposed to be put on the side in case of emergency. Break glass in case of emergency. He's already tapping into that, or about to tap into that. But look who's on the front lines. Negroes again. Remember what I said earlier? They're part of the Democratic voting tribe. Look at these dummies. Look at these dummies. I guarantee you the majority of them voted for this idiot. A 30-something-year-old man who's never ran a business, who has never had a job, is running New York City. America's metropolis when it comes to finances and money. America's empire state when it comes to finances, Wall Street, capitalism, capitalism. I'm stressing capitalism because he's a socialist. He's a socialist, and it's a known fact that socialism does not work in the long end. It does not work. But look at your brothers and sisters. Look at their faces. All your beautiful brothers and sisters who got duped. Look at your brothers and sisters. Look at them. Look at them. Dumb idiots, man. Idiots. Hey, shalom, brother. Shalom. Look at your brothers and sisters, bro. Don, look at your brothers and sisters. Look at your brothers and sisters who thought Mandani was going to save the day. Look at the black woman. Look at these. Look at them. I'm sorry for laughing, man. But they stupid, man. They just stupid, man. They stupid. I don't know how anybody could be so stupid, you know? America hates you. America has no love for you. When you gonna see it?
Backyard in Southeast Queens, not holding back just days after the mayor shared his $127 billion city budget proposal.
Not even 3 months into your administration, into your term, you want to hit us with a 9.5% interest property tax increase.
Those attending the Hands Off Our Homes rally consider the proposal a complete 180 from the platform that cleared Mamdani's path to City Hall. While the mayor calls the property tax hike, one that hasn't been imposed in 15 years, a necessary last resort needed to fill the city's
last resort. You dummies. Put him in office, and now he's talking about a last resort. These stupid idiots. And they laugh at us. You laugh at us. Bible. You guys just yell at us with the Bible. Look at these idiots.
His $5.4 billion budget gap. 3 million residential units, along with 100,000 commercial properties, fall within scope of the hike.
Those of you who don't know why they keep mentioning, well, they mention Queens, because Queens in New York is predominantly private houses in Queens. Staten Island has a lot of private houses too, but the main focal point, I believe, will be Queens. And you got a lot of black folks in Queens, man. And this is going to hurt a lot of people if this goes through like this. This is going to hurt a lot of people. Maybe they'll run them out of town. Maybe they'll run them out.
If we find additional savings, we will absolutely use them. However, responsibly, I cannot tell New Yorkers that that is the likelihood over these next few months.
A hike likened to an express lane to gentrification.
Look, black people again. Look at that. What about cuts? I was listening to the news today. Oh, not today, Friday on my way in from work, and they made some good points. They have enough waste in programs and people getting large paychecks that they can cut. But they're not going to do that. They always put it on the backs of black folks. They keep taking, and they're going. And at some point, they're going to take so much that there's going to be a big revolt, and people are going to burn down the cities. There's no more money, man. They keep taking from the community, the black community. There's no more money, man. They can't keep printing up money. Then what about all the money that New York used on the migrants? New York is a sanctuary state, I believe, at least. I believe it's a sanctuary state. But billions of dollars went to the migrants, man. Billions. What about that money? Now they want to go in the pockets of American citizens, black American citizens. How do you begin to even justify that? Stupid, dumb Negroes, man. Stupid. Nobody should be that stupid.
For long-standing black and brown families in Cambria Heights, Queens.
They saved, they worked overtime so they can purchase their homes and build equity. So, yes, you want to freeze rents on one set of families, but then you want to increase property taxes on another set of families. It doesn't work that way.
As residents fear being priced out of their homes, already overwhelmed with the taxes they already pay.
The taxes that we pay for that you're now trying to get more of, you want to make us do what?
What does this remind you of? All these black folks yelling and upset. What state does this remind you of? Chicago. Chicago, who was complaining about the migrants. You know? Chicago. They look the same way they did that the black folks, looked in Chicago. Same way. Same way. I'm going to see how much money was spent on the migrants. I'm just curious. And now they're hitting the the homeowners in New York. And the renters going to get it too, because all the super rich that own property, if they get hit, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to increase the rent. Nobody wins. Nobody damn wins. Here says, let me see. As of early 2026, New York City has spent a cumulative total of approximately $9.2 billion. $9.2 billion on migrants, on the migrant crisis since the influx began in 2022. Costs peaked with over $3.7 billion in the fiscal year of 2024, with a spending projected to decline to $1.2 billion in FY 2026, and to $5 million by decreasing as they going forward. But a total of $9.2 billion. It's $9.25 billion. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? But you see how dumb people are? People are just so damn dumb that they believe in the system. They believed in the system. They were part of the tribe we read about. They were the sheeple who were part of the tribe. Remember that? They vote and they get caught up and they identify with each other as Democrats and they get robbed. And believe it or not, both sides are robbing you, Democrats and Republicans. Democrats and Republicans, they get lied to and they get played and they just stupid sheeple. Stupid sheeple. How dumb can you be? It says tribal identity and partisanship. Politics is often about belonging to a team. Belonging to a team rather than finding the truth. Rather than finding the truth. Voters may accept falsehoods if they come from their party, viewing them as necessary to advance their agenda or attack the opposition. The Bible opens your mind to step out of the system and step into the realm of the Most High. While the sheeple, remember? While the sheeple become dumber and dumber.
Sheeple.
See?
Sheeple.
People compared to sheep in being docile, foolish, and easily led. And that's what you have. People being docile and easily led, like this black woman. Now she's mad. She's mad now.
We're tired. We're working ourselves to bones here. We don't have it.
His crazy, crazy ways, y'all, have even caught the attention of renowned podcaster Joe Rogan, who is coming out against Mamdani. I guess it's no surprise because even people in New York.
I like Joe Rogan. He uses his podcast to reveal a lot of the foolishness. I brought this up yesterday in regards of I forgot the COVID situation, and he had dumb sheeple Negroes getting mad at me. Joe Rogan. Yeah, so let's check out what's happening here. Check it out.
Are rising up against him.
Joe Rogan has some thoughts on Mamdani's spending plans, which reportedly include $1.2 billion for migrants coming to New York City.
I mean, he's a psychopath. Like,
Is he
the amount for migrants is crazy. There should be $0 for illegal immigrants.
But
Zero.
I don't think you can have zero, because if they're going to be there, they're going to be. You have to feed them. You have to do something with them. Like literally, if you don't feed them,
the fact is, how did they get there? Who let them in the country in droves? And who's going to foot that bill? This is what's happening with the New Yorkers now. If that didn't happen in the first place, they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in now. It makes absolutely no sense to be that stupid. I'm not going to say it makes no sense. I'm going to say it makes no sense to be that stupid. And the people you vote for and put in office, supposedly, if that's what's really happening, let's say supposedly that's what's happening, wouldn't you contribute the problem to them? It makes no sense to be that stupid. And then when the midterms come, you're going to vote, and we got to get out there and vote. If you don't vote, Trump is going to win. And Trump is going to be, if you don't vote and follow me, and if you don't follow who I endorse, the left is going to win. And you fall for the same garbage all the time. And then you attack us who don't vote. You attack us who say that America is Babylon, America is Rome, America is Egypt, America is wicked, and Esau is going to do what he's going to do. You get mad at us. And you look stupid every day. I can see if it was 1988 and you had some footing and you could say, look at those idiots on the corner. Look at those Power Rangers. Look at those guys with those robes. Listen to what the hate they're spewing out. I can see if it was 1988, 1998, even 2008. But you look goddamn stupid now. Because not only are we right, but biblical prophecy is now fulfilling itself, you dumb, stupid idiots. You can't tell me we're not living in Matthew 24. You can't tell me we're not living in Revelations 18. You can't tell me that we're not living in the times where these are the last days and many antichrists are arising. 1 John 2, verse 18. You can't tell me we're not living in those times. You can't tell me that. You're stupid. You're stupid.
they're going to be robbing stores. They have to. Human beings need food. What are you going to do?
Get them jobs.
How are you going to get a migrant a job?
Get them a job in Guatemala.
Wouldn't you rather give them food than a job? I don't want them taking American citizens' jobs.
Well, the whole thing's a mess.
The whole thing's a mess, but the point is you can't just throw them away.
Right.
That's the
Unless
problem.
you're going to remove them from the country.
And while Mamdani plans to dish out money to illegals, he plans to crush taxpayers.
In order to get to this point.
Check this out, y'all. I saw this whole Friday. Thursday and Friday I've been watching it since. Check this out. Check out his math. Check it out.
Of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years.
You got to hit the rainy day fund. That's the money they had on the side for emergency. That's the rainy day fund. And not only hit that, but he's going to hit the pockets of the New Yorkers for 10% if he can't get from the super rich. And if he hits the super rich, either they're going to leave New York, or if they own property and they rent property, or anyone making over $200,000, I think it is how it goes. If they own or rent property and they have to foot the bill, the renters are going to foot the bill. It's just one big mess that he can't get out of. And Hochul, she can't ride with him because it's unpopular in the midterms for her to ride with him and campaign saying she's going to raise taxes. It's unpopular and not smart to run during the midterms and say you're running, but you're going to raise taxes. You'll have no chance of winning. So she has to separate herself from him, even though he's asking her for money. But what he will do, he will blame the problem on her if he don't get the money for her to pay the New Yorkers to get out of the hole they're in financially. Her is the Hochul, the governor. You understand what I'm saying? He needs money to get New Yorkers out of the hole. He's going to her for the money. But if she foots the bill based on his stupid socialist ideology, then she's running on the premise of doing A, B, and C and raising taxes. And that's not good if you're running for office. Not good.
And with New York about to see yet another blizzard on the back of historic cold that killed over 20 people as your boy refused to end those homeless encampments, Mamdani is also seeing the error of his ways as a...
We in a snowstorm right now. It's got to be like about 2 inches of snow out there. I can't believe it. I just dug the car out, and 2 hours ago, the snow started coming down pretty heavy. So I don't know what the hell the homeless are doing right now. I have no idea how they're living and what's going on with them. But we in a snowstorm right now, New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. So he was campaigning about getting the homeless off the street. That hasn't been done, not on a serious level. All the crazies are still out there. All the weirdos are on Broadway. All the weirdos are down in the Times Square area. All the weirdos are in the Village. That's lower Manhattan. So again, these are just lies after lies after lies that people follow. Lies after lies. So I don't know how people get caught up into this stupidness, man. It's just lies after lies. Check this one out.
Well, they've been cooking this guy, Mark Lamont Hill, all across these apps. So this is Mark Lamont Hill. He's an author, he's a professor, and he's on a bunch of YouTubes and things like that. And he's a Jill Stein supporter. Mark Lamont Hill is who my parents or grandparents would say is an educated fool. That's him. So I was over on the Bird app and I saw that Chris Evans, who goes by not Captain America, did a This You on Mark Lamont Hill because Mark Lamont Hill was talking about down here that Joe has to go. And Chris is like, you said you'd rather have Trump be president and that you were supporting Jill Stein. And Mark Lamont Hill down here said, that's not what I said. That's a misrepresentation of what I said. He said, I didn't say I'd rather Trump be president. But Chris Evans says, you literally said that, and it's on video. He said, I'll post a clip because you were on the Breakfast Club with Leonard McKelvey, the abuser. You were on that club, on that show. And he put the quote right here, I would rather have Trump be president for 4 years and build a real left-wing movement that get us what we deserve as a people than to let Hillary be president and we stay locked in the same place.
You see what happens after a while, they start to see some sort of reality. And when I say reality, I'm not into politics. I go where the buck is or what could better benefit me. And after a while, you got black folks that realize that voting Democrat or staying on the Democratic train doesn't benefit them unless you support women, men and women's sports, Trans Am, meaning men becoming women and women becoming men, and same-sex unions. You don't have a conservative view anymore, especially in the Bible. So people tend to jump ship when they see the corruption and the lies and the hypocrisy and the homeless situation. And even the situation with Mamdani, they start to jump ship. They start to see things from a different lens or a different point of view. They start to see that. And this is where the problem comes at because they leave from one tribe to another tribe. See, tribal identity and partisanship. I can't say that word for nothing. It says politics is often about belonging to a team rather than finding the truth, see? So often they find the truth. It says voters may accept falsehoods if they come from their party, viewing them as necessary to advance their agenda or attack the opposition. So you have the foolishness that's in both parties, but they just jump around, and after a while they realize that one side is lying and the other side has a lot less lies than the side they jump ship from. So that's what it's about, man. And us as followers of the Most High and followers of Scripture, we learn not to believe or trust in man. I'll play a little bit more of this.
Advocating for Donald Trump. That's when Hillary was running. And then Chris Evans did post a video, and I just screenshot the video here. He just said, and what I'm saying is that I would rather have Trump. And now, to the credit of a couple of people in that Breakfast Club little room right there, they pushed back and said, no, we would not rather have Trump. But
See, and the Breakfast Club is full of damn weirdos and fruity tooties, man. They support that. So again, I don't support politics. If you into that, then more power to you. I think in the end, it goes down to what I opened up with, that in their afflictions they shall seek me early, the ones who are ordained to follow the Most High and Christ. They will seek him early in their afflictions. The bread lines will come. More homeless people will be in the street, and there'll be a war. Look what's happening with Putin. I was just looking at that a little while ago. with Putin. Putin is still on the warpath, bombing the hell out of his enemies. You understand? So let's see what happens, man. But be wise. Be wise. Don't be like these idiots out here. Be very wise and be humble too. Be humble too, but be wise and be smart, because this is going to be very interesting. And I pray that the Most High protects me and you, brothers and sisters, and, we continue to look at this and laugh. I mean, I shouldn't say laugh, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, because people are just stupid and they've been laughing at us for so long, and we've been trying to show them the truth for so long by stepping out of the world. You understand? There's big benefits in stepping out of the world. When I say stepping out of the world, not believing in the lies, not participating in the holidays and the foolery of our people. You understand? Not being a sheeple, man. Someone who's just docile and has no understanding on how things work. So I'm just saying, man, be smart and use your brain, because we got a lot of stupid, dumb people. I've seen it over the weekend. I just seen some real stupidness, man. Some real damn stupidness. You understand? All right, brothers, y'all stay strong. Y'all stay in this faith. Peace.